Hour number 3 of more fun. We are laying down the law. Yes, your host, Steve Foster, here with the former All-Pro NFL quarterback, Jeff Blake. We're reading up here with Spencer Conley, Football Nation. And we're going to give a couple of these away. We're going to autograph them, too. What the heck, right?
Why not?
We'll see what our ink is worth down the road. Somebody put us on their coffee table. Football Nation. And want to thank the author Susan Rayburn for that. Didn't have a chance to do it sooner, but I told her, be a little patient, and we'll get them out.
From the Library
of Congress. Absolutely. Well, not necessarily from Valley Ranch or AT&T Stadium. He's out on the left coast. And, Judd, are you okay, man? We understood that there's a 6.0 earthquake out there. You all right?
Yeah, it woke me up at about 3:30 in the morning, 3:20 in the morning for about 45 seconds. It really wasn't a big deal. I guess there's some damage north of here, but for me, I'm fine, so everything's all right.
You and Jeff Blake got 4 kids. That's what it probably sounded like, that everybody was up looking for the Cheerios and the Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Oh, man, well, we're glad.
Just start by land and outside of Vegas. And so when state of California falls into the ocean, you have lakefront, oceanfront property.
Nice.
Yes, we have him back, our Cowboys Insider, Judd Garrett, former Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl champion and now part of their staff. We can't thank you enough for being a part of the show. 25-20, Miami wins on the scoreboard. Tell us, Judd, what you liked about the Cowboys yesterday in their third preseason game.
Well, the first thing is that we didn't have very many injuries, at least to the guys we're going to be counting on. So that's always a big thing in the preseason. Romo got out there; he got some extended amount of time. He got hit around a little bit, and he bounced back. It didn't seem to have much of an effect on his back, so that's positive. The starting defense in the first half only gave up 3 points. We got to do a much better job stopping the run. They hit some runs on us, which if we don't get that taken care of, it's going to be hard for us to play good defense. And, I thought Ryan Williams did a nice job. Dez played well. Offensively, we needed to be sharper. We needed to be cleaner with a lot of things. You don't like giving up 3 sacks and a half, so that's stuff that we got to clean up. Some of that comes from there's not a great level of game planning going into these preseason games. I was at practice all week. We were just doing our stuff. We showed the offense the different fronts that they're going to play, but you can dial up some great blitzes in the preseason and really get pressure on the quarterback if you want to do that as a defense, because teams aren't necessarily, as prepared for your blitz packages as they will be during the regular season. And from what I saw, a couple of the pressures came from, different blitzes that they were bringing against us. So we got to clean that up. But I think overall, we were okay. Not thrilled with the performance. But guys came out of the game healthy, and we just got to clean things up and move on to the next week.
Absolutely. And that next week comes on a Thursday. Is that not right?
Yes, Thursday at home. So, and usually that's a game that I think the starters will play maybe a series, and we're going to turn it over to the guys fighting to make the team. It's going to be a good game to really find out how some of these these backup guys are going to play, and which ones are going to want to make the team, and which ones we're going to have to move on from. So that'll be good. That'll be very interesting. At least from my vantage point, as we're trying to get the roster set. Which guys we're going to be able to keep around.
Absolutely. And how do you think the progress has been made this training camp and preseason for the Cowboys overall? I have a very good feeling about this season, regardless of what people may see. I think that Dez Bryant, if you're going to play fantasy football, I know that's not what it's about. It's about winning real games, but I think the skill position players of Dallas are going to do extremely well, and I like the fact that takeaways were made by the defense as well.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it offensively, even though there were things out of sync last night, and you like to be cleaner with the protections, I think in the end, offensively, we'll be fine. We got a good offensive line put together. Obviously, a very good tight end, good receivers. DeMarco's a good back. We got good backups behind him, and obviously, Romo and his health is going to be a question mark. So if he's healthy, we'll be good on offense. We'll be fine. Obviously, as everybody knows, defensively is the question, and we may have to play it the way you just described it. A team that maybe gives up yards, but creates a lot of turnovers and things like that. And that's a little bit of the way that old Tampa Bay defense played. They were a little bit of a bend that don't break defense, but they were able to come up with plays, turnovers. Now, they were getting sacks. That's going to be a big question mark for us. Where are pressure players coming from? Right now, the guys that on our roster that will provide the most pressure are hurt. DeMarcus Lawrence, Anthony Spencer, those guys can provide, pressure for us. They're not healthy right now, so hopefully when we get them back, we'll be able to create some pressure on defense.
We're talking with Judd Garrett, our Cowboys Insider, and he's giving us a rundown of what's going on for the upcoming season. And you got it. So when does it have to be cut down to 75 players, Judd?
It's on Tuesday.
Okay.
That's the last. I think it's Tuesday by 5.
I'm sure you guys have already cut some guys already.
Yeah, it's gonna. A lot of the cuts are gonna happen. Today and tomorrow. We may keep a few guys around for practice on Monday. Just maybe we're still up in the air on which guys we're going to keep.
Right.
But by Tuesday, league wide, it has to be cut down to 75, and then we carry 75 into the final preseason game, and then next Saturday at 5 is when we get down to our 53-man roster.
And again, where do you think the greatest need on offense and defense is for this team?
I mean, I think the greatest need for the team is defensive line and pressure players. I think in the end, rotationally in our defensive line, when everybody's healthy, when McLean's back and everyone's healthy, we'll be able to hold up, stopping the run well enough. But as I assess the situation, we don't have a true off the edge pressure player to get you double-digit sacks this year. And in order to be a really good defense, you need that type of guy, because not only getting the sacks is important, but the amount of attention that he's going to draw from the offensive line, having to turn protections, double team him, do things like that, makes it easier for the other guys to play and be productive. When you don't have that big stud type of guy coming off the edge, it makes playing offense against you a lot easier. So, we need someone to step up. Hopefully Lawrence comes back and he can provide that type of pressure, or Spencer comes back. I mean, he's been working out. He's been running. I've seen him work out a number of times, and he's running good. It's just we're not quite ready to throw him in the fire and test that knee yet. But we need to get a pressure player somewhere. I think other parts of the defense will end up being fine. Our back end will be okay once Carr's back in the mix. Once Claiborne gets healthy, Scander comes back from the suspension. I think our back end will be okay. We'll be fine. It's just the pressure player on defense is what we need.
Judd, Spencer Conley, I would like to ask you a question. When watching you guys play the last couple of years, and I really felt that the Cowboys were always in the position to do a lot of great things, and the Cowboys lost a lot of games late in the way they lost the games was probably really the most embarrassing thing to me. What have you guys done about getting that grit on putting your foot on somebody's throat and keeping it there and finishing games? Because I hear you say, the expectations that you have when you were healthy or what you guys were able to do, but you guys were healthy at points last year, or even not healthy, but just didn't finish some games well. Are you guys? Is there a turnaround from that on just being able to put 4 quarters together?
Well, obviously, we talk about that a lot. We work on it a lot. I mean, I'm out of practice, most of the practices, and a lot of our practices are designed for situations and end-of-the-game situations, whether we're doing a 2-minute drive, whether we're doing a 4-minute drive, whether we're putting together, okay, here's the last 3-play scenario. We got the ball on the 45-yard line. There's 18 seconds left. We got 1 timeout. How are we going to manage that situation? We do all those games. We try to simulate all those types of game situations in practice to get our players used to playing in those close games. I think we led the league over the last 3 years in the most games decided by a touchdown or less. Now, we've done pretty well. We've won more than half of those games, but I think we're just a little bit over 500 in those types of games. So we play a lot of those games. We work those scenarios and those situations, so they almost become second nature in handling that. So that's the way we've been handling it. We've done it well at times in games where we've won these close games. I mean, Dan Bailey kicked a lot of field goals for us, and in the last 2 minutes to win games, Romo's made big plays for us in the last 2 minutes of games. I mean, obviously the Redskins game is the one that pops out most recently. So we've done it well, but I agree with you. There have been times where we've screwed the thing up, whether it's a game management situation, whether it's a player not doing what he's supposed to do, or just not getting the thing done. So what we do is we work it, we go over it. It's good work for not only the players, it's good work for the coaches to work through those scenarios. And, I just don't know any other way to do it other than just work on it again and again and again, and hopefully it gets ingrained into the players and the success starts showing up on the field.
We're talking with Judd Garrett, our Cowboys Insider. And Judd, you played it and you've coached it, and that's, again, you and I, we've been coaches as former players, and you have to count on the folks that are out there, the 11 that you put out there. And, again, you just have to make a personal decision on getting it done. We look forward to that. We look forward to you being our Cowboys Insider. Again, can't thank you enough for coming on the show, taking time out. Be safe. I know the Niners and Chargers play, and I know that is the week 1 opponent, so I know that you will certainly have the opportunity and ability to comment on what you see that 49er team, which is very powerful and successful over the last couple of years with Coach Harbaugh. So be careful, man. Take care of yourself.
I will.
and lock it, strap it in, and certainly appreciate your time.
Okay, thanks, Foss. It's good to be here.
All right, man. Thank you. We're going to take a sidebar. We're going to come back. We're going to talk some pro football. We're going to let Spencer Conley do his thing. We see him. And we've got one more guest, a coach that is a champion on the college level. And that'll be fun, too. Talking with Coach Bob Cerise from our alma mater, my alma mater, Princeton as well. Stay with us. We'll take your calls if you have them also. And giveaways. We have giveaways right here on Laying Down the Law.